class. And the grand poobah mastermind kingpin class are in the Federal Reserve because they kowtow, the politicians kowtow to the Federal Reserve. But the Labor Department, that's the most, whew, wow, that's diabolical, man. That is, because they could have prevented this. The federal minimum wage, we should have stayed unified at that point and demanded that we the people, we're the boss, we're paying your wages, we're paying your salary, we're putting food on your table, we the people, that is, the working class that pay the taxes. We should have kept our clout. Now it has no meaning. They borrow money at will. Look where we are with the Federal Reserve. We own $25 trillion and growing. No hope in sight. Mainstream media won't touch the subject. But how do we intend on ever getting this paid back? I mean, it's like Twilight Zone on super steroids to the nth degree. It's just like just a wall of radio silence. It's like not a whisper. Can't hear a pen drop. No, there's nothing. Nothing. Dead subject. We're not going to talk about the implications of an ever-growing, perpetually growing national debt and how eventually, the rubber's got to meet the road. I mean, the slaves are going to revolt. That's the slaves. I mean, people on minimum wage or close thereabouts are in the hundreds, millions. 150 million working Americans out there are working. They're in that class. Hopeless. They're on this hamster wheel. They hope to enter home ownership, middle-class life, some semblance of security and financial freedom. And they see the writing on the wall, flashing neon now. Everybody's waking up. They're getting educated. They're getting informed. They're getting enlightened. They're getting wise. That's the good news, is that's the hand of God working. It's a snowball, and the evildoers can't stop it. So it's a coming. People are going to decipher it. They're going to weed it out. They're going to come out of the muddied, bloodied waters by this bad religion and these bad religionists that have pushed it on us. Said, you believe in this way. It's the only way. There's no solution. Stop that. You stop your bleeding heart liberal politics. You're going to give away money, basic universal income. Come on, who do you think you are? You little mooching pissant. What are your stupid religious philosophy of the earth belongs to God and we're all God's equally beloved children, and what would God say to us? He'd say, well, share it, get along with each other, have fun, enjoy my creation. I'm trying to live vicariously through you, live vicariously through me. You see, they won't allow it. They're evil. They want to keep owning us. It's neo-feudalism. It's slavery. They've normalized slavery, my friends. That's what they've done. If you have no hope of ever getting ahead, and it's just too damn hard, that you see that writing on the wall, that nut keeps getting harder and harder to crack. So only the strongest will ever survive. And then you see, as you age out in America, you say, I got no place to immigrate to. I can't go anywhere, immigrate to. So I'm stuck here, man. They say this is as good as it gets. We got people moving in all the time from all over the world, young, strong immigrants. I mean, they've got it way better. People moving here, they got a second country they can go back to. If a dollar is worth a lot of money down there relative to their money, it's huge. I mean, they become heroes of their hometown. You see the writing on the wall. You're on a hamster wheel, and the message is, look, you can't cut the mustard, okay? You can't crack the nut. You can't reach the bar. You're weak, okay? And you know what we tell weak links? We don't actually say it, but the inference is glaring. Go crawl under the bridge and die. We don't need you anymore. That's it. But a lot of people commit crime. It's a driver. I mean, homicides, the worst kind of crime out there. And I'm a fiscal conservative. I say, well, let's just use that $50 billion a year to buy people houses, and then we wash our hands with the problem. They got to fix their own house from there on out. No, I'm bleeding heart liberal. But mathematically, a child can understand the long-term implications of buying people houses and not spending $50 billion each and every single year. And what's worse is they make the problem worse, and the money goes into enrich fat cats, creates poverty, unaffordable housing, homelessness, desperation, freaky, bad desperation. So I'm trying to help people understand what's driving you to misery and forms of escapism. even if it's just dissipating time in a way that you know your time could be better spent, more fruitful, more productive, more generous, more appreciated. So I'm trying to help people understand the psychological implications of what's going on. What is really going on with this pandemic, as Catherine Austin Fitts called it, which I believe it is. Because these people saw it got too hot. They know they can't keep this charade going forever. With the national debt, people are going to start questioning, saying, how is this thing getting paid off? What exactly are you doing? How are you paying the principal on this? Whose pocket is that coming out of? Then you realize what they're doing is diluting the money. It's called debasement. And then the Federal Reserve, they're in your face. It's like prima facie evil goings on. It's like, holy cow, they're out of the closet. Yes, I'm Satan. I'm an ugly monster, and I got a lot of demons working for me, and we're big and bad, and we get our way. We're going to turn America into another forsaken Latin American nation, and it's going to be hopelessness in perpetuity. And you're going to be begging to be able to move to Canada. You're going to be just like those immigrants you were prejudiced against, that were desperate trying to come here and escape gangs and thugs and corrupt police departments and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, it's going to be like that. You're going to be begging to be able to move to Canada. Keep moving north. Siberia, maybe. That's what's become of America. That's where we are, my friends. So if you're a weak link in the chain, the message isn't just, oh, well, let's help it. Let's make that link strong. No, give it at least a basic income, so that they could pay their housing costs and food and potable water, even energy needs. You can make them cold. I mean, if they're not willing to go to work, I mean, the Bible says a man that doesn't work shouldn't eat. So I have the work ethic ingrained in me. Even if I'm totally disabled, and the doctor says, stop working now. You're going to get a heart attack. I say, I'm sorry. I know about atrophy. I can't do it. I'll go insane. What's better? I'd rather be dead than be insane. So I got to keep moving. Even if it hurts, I got to keep moving. Even if there's no money, you see, even if it's not a monetary thing anymore. If you can afford to retire, then you do it, right? But if you know you got to keep moving and you need to be appreciated, you got to do stuff, or else you go insane. You understand? So we got to understand ourselves individually and collectively, realize we're a lot alike. We all want a lot of the same stuff. Creature comfort. If we don't allow that to the least of men, I mean, Jesus Christ called himself the least of men. I just saw a guy the other day, Rob. I saw him walking down the street with his cart and stuff, and across the bridge and overpass. And when I got to the other side, I pulled into a gas station. I waited for him to catch up. It took a little longer than I expected, a few minutes. But, I wanted to say hi to him. I wanted to give him a few bucks, part of my tithing process. And we started talking. He was very talkative, very nice, friendly fellow. And I see how he's very little different from anybody else. I mean, but his clothes were filthy. They were so soiled and saturated with filth. I can't describe it. Actually, I don't ever remember seeing a guy that was homeless that looked that raggedy. I mean, it was pretty tough to but he was beautiful. I mean, his face was nice. He looked healthy, alive. He was friendly. His vibes were good. He was talkative, coherent for the most part. You get some mental issues. They all have mental issues. The most mentally ill people are those that don't admit they're a little mentally ill. How can we not be? You see, you're normal if you admit it. You're abnormal if you don't. If you're normal in this insane world, this mad world, and by design, then there's something wrong with you. Okay, if you fit right in, you're delusional. You're deluded, big time. And we're born masters of self-deceit. That's my own personal belief. This goes back to how this original sin and the fall of man, it got in our DNA. It's in our genes that we're a little bit off. There's something very wrong with this picture, this species. I mean, we need some questions answered. Okay, fundamental questions. And only God can give us the answer to those questions. So, listen, all this stems from the original sin. Evil got power, and it has the power today. Until the return of Jesus Christ, we're going to have issues, and we can all fight it, though. The last thing you want to do is be a coward. We've got to stand up against these people as one unified force, one unified people. Put our differences aside. Say, you know what?